If ever there's a time to show us that you are the world's best, it starts right here and now on Nuke. Bad News Eagles with a chance to throw a knockout blow to Faze Clan, but it is on Nuke. And it's a T start for Faze.
Oh, pistol rounds. Something they've been able to pick up at least. So let's see if Faze can grab their third. The 1xBet odds still favoring Faze. The bookmakers believing here.
Let's see if Faze do. Utility to the top side. A missed Molly. That's an Orky Momo already. In though. They go. Synopsy on the heavens. Unwilling to voice concerns as they will retool and regroup. You have the smoke, you have the kit. Likely going to drop the one way or not. They actually completely call Synopsy out of heaven. The park rig on there. They want that smoke elsewhere. Is it for the squeaky door? Yeah. Okay. On the way in. Tap. Damage. Inflicted. Heads. Popped. Brokey. One. And they keep coming. Faze with a clean pistol here. One to the dome through the floor. Scenari just trying to do a little bit more. One headshot would be nice. It's flawless from Faze. Nearly perfect. A bit of damage. A missed Molly. But a perfect round, all things considered.
Well, let's see if they can convert their second round.
Oh, that's
here.
true too.
Yeah, that has to sink in, doesn't it? So it has been difficult for Faze after the pistol wins to get these subsequent conversions. I expect it on their home turf. It shouldn't be too much of a trouble, too much to ask for. This is the thing with your Bad News Eagles, you were likely expecting this to be the pick of Faze regardless. Sure. So you should be prepped and ready for this. You should be feeling quite confident. And knowing Mirage is there as the third, having a good idea that you can at least have a crack if we do go the distance. But Rops, I don't know if he tracked Scenari, but he finds Scenari.
That was just intuition. He had a good read of the situation, timings mentally. Bang on the money. Scenari tries his luck and is slapped immediately out of the ramp aggress. Oh, miss Molly. Problems. GXX knows it kind of rides on his Deagle headshot. Chip damage won't go far as a couple of bullets do connect, but nothing in the lethal department. Responsible for lobby is Brokey. Still one above as well. Just a cursory glance out of Rigon. Not interested in any funny business. It was Rain up top. Now Synopsy, Rigon to join him, has been pulled down here by virtue of Carrigan's presence. You can see he's very quick to this. Bomb's being planted now by Robs. Into the low site, and vent control should be Faze's. Should being the operative word. One back from Synopsy. Galil now in play. No kit. Should still be Faze. Can they find their second round conversion?
Yeah, they'll get away with this. BNE, now that they've got this Galil, they should be saving here. I can see Synopsy is still flirting and trying to be somewhat dangerous, but back off, and another kill available there. Flatro will go down to Carrigan. Rigon, he's already given this one up. It's Synopsy who has to get away, so that's a little bit confusing. Rigon bailed. The rest overstayed their welcome, and they will be punished for it. It could have been a very tidy third round with those preserved weapons, but that will not be the case. It's just going to be this one MP9 and the second Faze post on the board. That's more like it.
More of that required. Faze.
Now, I just ran inside after we finished that first map, and Faze were on the way out, so were Bad News Eagles. There was a clear difference in the body language of the two teams, as you would understand. But Faze, they know what they're up against here, and they know that they can draw this back. As we mentioned during that first map, if anybody is going to be able to bring it back from a 0-2 deficit in the Legend stage against the names that we have available here, it is going to be a team like Faze. So there's still hope, there's still belief. The Bad News Eagles, they're the ones who can take a couple more risks, and towards ramp, they're going to be funneled into Rain, and he'll just mop up 3 quick kills. Flatro and Synopsy to fall, and I'm sure they'll come quickly.
Toes just poking out. And a clean one. Free frags, a little cuddle there from the Bad News Eagles.
I wonder as well, and I know I'm getting down the line a little bit. This is obviously more of a conversation for analysts to be having, maybe a bit more of even maybe a podcast conversation. But if Faze were hoping to have Vertigo played as a bit of a trump card here to scare teams away, right? And
did they achieve it? Is the question?
Yeah, so that's another thought process if they do survive this one here. The guns are out here. GXX into his AWP. Rifles for the remainder, and slower approach here from Faze.
And I would already say that their T-side on Nuke looks, I mean, in stark contrast to the depth of which we saw from that first map. Response here. Lovely. Stagnate. Still Robs gets the headshot, burning down. And into the top site they go. Faze have successfully acquired access to the first letter of the alphabet.
they have to save in situations like this, BNE. You can't just go for rounds like this on a map like Nuke. There's no way in. You don't have all the goodies you require. You're down a man. Play it by the book. It's still so early on in this CT side. There's no point just throwing it away for nothing.
Why is Scenarii still having a little look? I guess if he finds something like that, Flatro might try his luck up the vent. Carrigan? Woof, okay, aware and around. Secured.
Playing a reaction test right there, I think Carrigan was. This GXX will get removed as well. 7-0 for Carrigan, leading by example here. And when you look at this team, you know that the heart and soul of it is Carrigan and his leadership, right?
Gotcha.
Twists gets fired up. He definitely gets emotional. Brokey does as well. He likes to keep it quite contained. But you think, who's going to pull them out of this pit of despair that they're in? It has to be Carrigan.
Yeah, no one more experienced than him. And, you know, the way I always see Faze when I'm explaining how exciting this video game is to the uninitiated, I use Faze as a perfect example. Like, this dude's been playing so long. He's now got the right pieces of the puzzle. He's got mutual respect. Everyone, you know, hangs on to his every word. And he can lead by example. And you put the perfect talented players like Rops. You know, this guy is so impressive to watch. You can just see the robotic nature in his approach to the game. They all singing from the same hymn sheet as Carrigan, and it has to be him. It does. You know, others, I think Rain is a perfect example of, you know, a reason Faze's project has worked so well as well, because he can sit there and ensure that Carrigan is getting the ears he deserves for the words he is speaking. Now, lobby is being continually maintained. There is always that threat of CTs going for early, especially on these lighter buys, a little bit of aggression, grouping up, taking space, and you can see that right now this default spread from Faze is just to account for that.
They applied pressure ramp, right? We saw that early here. But are they returning to the ramp room, or do they want to knock on the door at top? This
so
Mag
scary.
7 is very scary here. This can munch away.
Such a perfect, like, range for this weapon to just pop off. Rig on. Denies. Door closed and shotgun out. Synopsy now forced to watch. The rest likely to fall into place. He's coming up from heaven. He's coming up from heaven. Robs gets the frag. Beautiful flank. Not the first time we've seen Rops with some proactivity.
Yeah, he's had that push when we were covering off on Vertigo, right? Went down the ladder. That was a pretty stunning round. But this is very easy for Faze within the early stages here. 5-0. I think we're destined to get ourselves to that third map of Mirage and just settle in for a best of one on the scrimmiest map in the pool. And I think that's fitting, right? Yeah. I think that's fitting because once upon a time that used to be the top of Faze's wheelhouse. And for Bad News Eagles, it's a map where all it's going to take is a player or two to catch fire and they'll burn Faze to the ground. GXX looking for anything. Oh, he's going to catch a bullet straight between the eyes. Good shot there from Twists. And now it's just about getting everybody settled in. It's been a really rough start to the day. It's been a rough start to the tournament. 2 best of ones played yesterday against 2 top-tier opponents. Yeah. Right, the boogeyman for Faze of Cloud9. This was the conversations I'd been having with so many different people in the lead up to this event, was thinking it's matchup specific for some of these teams.
For sure.
Because Cloud9 beat them in IEM Dallas, they beat them in Pro League Season 16, they beat them again here in the best of one. And these are all important matches along different tournaments. So it's where Cloud9 seem to have the edge on Faze, but Bad News Eagles, they should not. Third time's the charm there for Twist. He will get himself mounted and
dead man. What a jiggle. GXX pulls the trigger and lets it go. Rops lucky to be alive. And Faze looking for a new lease of life. 5-0. And indeed, the 5-0 probably submitting a missing team report if Faze don't continue in this trajectory. Oh, okay, up and over. Flatro looking for his first frag. Ooh, well drilled on the flight path. Rain knocks him out. Rest already starting to get a little shaky in their boots.
You're actually going to leave Carrigan here in Warehouse, so when you do this, you have some options. You can return back, head towards Heaven, try and crunch in through this main position where Rigon currently resides, and he has spotted out Carrigan now, so they will have a joust and a duel, and Rigon cannot hit the target. Carrigan sweeps him up. Retains 5 points of health, sure.
But he has that map control still.
Yeah, and the thing is now with so many players and the bomb down towards B and all the utility they have available here, where's Twist find himself? Yeah, he's on the lower side, so they can smoke forward. They can push out through this. You'll see the flight paths we like talking about. Brokey's actually going wide. That's not as deep as you'd like over towards the dark position, but it's all good in the hood. Synopsy, GXX, and Scenarii they're in the wrong place.
Yeah, you can see Rob's actually hoping to catch a flash of Synopsy on the first bat. Oh, oops. Early switch. I think he thought he got the one tap there. And, well, it's a clear indicator that there is something fishy afoot. Saneri knocked off of his feet. Can this save? You still got GXX looking to save. Synopsy down, and yeah, that AWP is just going to try as hard as he might to get away from the fight. Good first. He is being run down. Faze know the value in taking this AWP away. Full commitment of the resources. All it takes is one miss. The gap's now formed, and down goes the AWP. That'll be picked up or scavenged across. I say that, actually, they're not interested.
Yeah,
no
they
T-side
might not
AWP.
have to operate with it, right? This is T-side nuke. It's not an essential component of all of this. I think when you look at a map like Nuke, there's a multitude of different ways you can approach it. If it's Sirison in the server, yeah, get him the AWP.
Sure.
The big love to run their system around that AWP, but Brokey a little bit more flexible in that department. And yeah, a little bit awkward there from Robson there, but we've all been there. Quick change away, you think you've got the kill, or maybe an accidental. Look, with the type of keyboards they have, I don't want to geek everybody out. Maybe the actuation set a little bit too high. So, oh, accidentally hit the quick switch.
And a quick start, Robs into the top site. Uncontested and fragging. Rigon flattened. And yeah, this is just a top site take in the opening 20. They know they didn't have the resources to be throwing in those incendiaries, stop the push.
But this is why I hate this. Was Ancient really that scary?
Bad? Yeah.
Right? Like, you would have got to start on the CT side as well. What were you afraid of?
Just wanted to prove something to themselves or to...
Yeah, they've proven they can put themselves in even more jeopardy. That has been proven here today.
Brokey looking for the frag onto GXX, and he does provide. So all good there. But Faze, yeah, definitely a stark contrast to the Faze Clan's T-side approach on Vertigo. So many more levels to this one. They have such a firm grasp of their advantages.
Well, that's the thing. The strategies from Faze on Vertigo, they're actually pretty well put together.
Yeah.
I want to go back and watch that strat they were running in mid with their flash from Brokey.
That could be a skybox breakdown for sure.
There's so much fun stuff
yeah.
as that mid control. And also the cool thing is they got to stay in limbo when they did that. Neri gets another, so he might actually be able to hold on to this AK. But that's the thing, Faze well put together, and with the boot camp, Robs will finish him off. With the boot camp they had, you would expect that, right? That's where they've obviously spent time on the geeky utility. They didn't just go out there and play a standard game of Vertigo that you would see everybody play at home. All right, we do the left-right smokes on A, we molly headshot, we push them. Right? There was a couple of extra details there that would be with a proficient Vertigo team, which is maybe something they were attempting to do, but it didn't stick the landing. And now that's where you really go, okay, well, now they're back in some good form. They're 7-0 up. Likely to see this continue round after round after round. We might be in for, I don't want to say a 16-0, but a bit of a drubbing here as, again, towards Ramp. Happy to test, happy to fight. And
oh, dear.
it wasn't even Twist needed. It was Robs through the smoke, who's definitely found some form.
But Twist
8-2 now.
is already advancing off that punish. Hang on. Carrigan cut down on Hut's side. Twist already in the low site. I'd like to acknowledge that for a moment, if possible. Thank you.
A lot of space, you would say.
Some would.
Well, they have to respond to this. You can see Rigon, he's going, well, where is he? I know he's down here. And with all this time on the clock in this 4-on-4 situation, Faze can make whatever decision they'd like. The bomb needs to get reconnected with the pack, and they're hoping a re-aggress.
Yeah, they're really strung out. Really going to be difficult for the Eagles to actually piece this one back together again, Humpty Dumpty style. Here they come, or at least they were. I think Robs may have heard of something. You can see he starts to activate. Brokey, that's the bomb, so he is going to go join Twists. Now, there has always been this standoff. Rigon now starting to be aware, and the door will swing open.
That'll be communicated.
Yeah, smoked off. What's he supposed to do? Twist is already
Has
up
to
and
play through it.
him, and yeah, the molly's perfect, burning through. Still gets the fragging away. Huge from Rigon. Oh, caught out. Twist. Great placement of the crosshair. Through the smoke still prevails. Now a 3v2. Synopsy low and uncontestable
cover here,
bomb.
Alex.
What? GXX good for the headshot. Door swung open. Bomb is cancelled. Synopsy can't really afford to run him down with support from Ram. AWP though on GXX walks into Decon. Oh! Hits the no-scope. Problems now for Robs. Only 10 HP. Every bullet has to be perfect if he wants to keep this undefeated run alive. Smoked off. To be cleared. Synopsy, the first victim, up against the AWP. Robs, sensational start, but not the finish, as GXX gives the Eagles the finish. That's 3 frags from the AWP, a lovely find on the USP, and bouncing for joy.
They're loving that one. That's a big round to get them back into things. I know they're already in this massive hole. It's a 6-round hole with the defuse coming through. 7-1 in Brazil, who would have thunk it? But rounding that corner, you're not expecting him to hit that no-scope at all. So nice work from GXX, and you love the attitude that you're seeing out of Bad News Eagles. This is why they're so infectious for everybody at home.
Yeah, I mean, looks like Faze have taken that personally. I think that same conversation, at least internally, was, you know, that 16-0 would feel better after Vertigo.
Yeah, well, I think I overreacted on that no-scope a little bit because of the hole we're in. If it was a closer game, maybe it would be important. Let's see. Is that the start of things to come?
Let's find out. Geeky smoke thrown out, pushing in, fast, Rigon blind, just gets his vision in as he takes Rain out. Brokey continues to pester and poke and prod Scenery over the one-way. Chance for a punish on that plan, no bodyguard, Carrigan late to his duties, puts GXX in a manageable 1v2. It's Rops, it's Carrigan, the Sensei and the Padawan. GXX, is he a droid or is he something more insidious? First is found. Lots of util. Rops to come up clutch to return them to their winning ways. No immediate contact. Rops playing this safe. The plant is for him main, but there is a smoke. There is a smoke, and it's on the bomb. Rops now just has to make sure he hits this shot. He has to hit this shot, and he does. Straight through, into the head, into the dome, and Faze back to their winning ways immediately.
That's a bit frustrating for poor GXX there to go down immediately. It felt like first bullet accuracy onto that as Rops. I think he realizes as well, I got away with a bit of a lucky one right there.
So that's supposed to be awkward.
Yeah, it's meant to be, the first bullet doesn't land. You have to spam around a little bit, but catches him immediately. What could you see, Mr. Robin Cool? Because I was squinting. I couldn't see an awful lot at all. That was interesting.
Man. It comes down to a 1v1. You're about to kind of really start chipping away at the Faze hopes and dreams, or at least their eco.
We gave B&E the highlight, right? Yeah. The clutch round previously. So let's get out of Nuke and get into Mirage, shall we?
Yeah, I think that might be the state of play. Rops has to prove it, as do Faze, and Synopsis, no slouch on the 5-7. A free AK-47 for his troubles. Deep wall smokes, very fast, stampeding to the lower site. Confirmation of presence behind the smokes as he sprays down and Flatro reacts. Does he actually want to open these doors?
He could block them right now if he wanted to. Well, might have to.
Oh, Synopsis tries his luck. He's getting run on down. Lovely survival, only for a moment. Flatro to smoke off Decon. Do you really want to disrespect that? You don't know what lies on the other side. Molly on the close corner. Scenery as well with his 5-7. These boys know their pistols pack a punch.
Faze do not have to commit here to the lower site. Still time to reroute.
You can't let this one go. Too much at stake. Too much of an advantage in the equipment. Conversation. GXX advancing. Good tap elsewhere. Scenario on the ramp now down. Flatro investigating and catches hot lead to the head.
Yeah, too little late to all of this.
Yeah.
Rigon does find the AK, but again, it's a conversation. Hey, maybe you want to hold on to that. You can't buy those on the CT side. He is going to have a glance. It's a 4-on-2 situation. The door springs open. He catches them off guard, but that's it. Carrigan able to get his feet on the ground and find that frag. It will just be GXX. Does get a nice shot there onto range, sure.
Might even get an AK for his troubles if he's quick. Slink away. No one's going to contest, so... They've already won their T-half, and this is Nuke. So, I mean, in terms of indicators, Chad's premonition that the conversation will be ending on a best-of-1 in Mirage. Certainly a conversation to be had about how intense that one could be. Tell your friends, tell your pets, tell your enemies. The Faze, this battle for survival, will go the distance thanks to B&E's handiwork on map 1.
Yeah, and then if we just end up with 2 Bloods and back-to-back maps, then it kind of sours map number 1, but this is the thing. Bad News Eagles were given the opportunity to play into Vertigo. They took it. They converted. They've given themselves some hope. I'm not sure... Yeah, this type of a team like B&E, if they do get blown out of the water here, I don't know if that's going to shake them to the core, but if the next map starts in similar fashion, that's where it will really compound. So now we do see the Brokey AWP and GXX both equipped. Carrigan already on top of main. Flatro seems somewhat aware that this is a possibility.
Oh, a different util set completely. And they're coming over the roof, plucked from the air. Carrigan His feet do not touch the ground before his life is ended prematurely. 2 on the roof, an AWPer on the roof. Rain descending as well. Ooh, Brokey. Ooh, 1 to the legs. Knocks the calves off of Flatro.
Bit of a missed throw there. Wanted to try and chase him down through credit card. Rigon has pushed lobby.
This is massive.
That's the correct response.
Oh, I love it. Rigon. A touch of aggression. Faze's options limited now, and Twist, how aware will he be? If lobby's clear, does he consider
Rigon's
the rule?
noisy. That's been heard.
Loud, Brokey.
They don't have to kill him. They could just leave him here.
Yeah, that's if he doesn't turn around. Oh, spots his leg.
This is a wild goose chase right
This
now.
is weird as hell for Brokey. Does he want to commit to this chase? Okay, Twist is elevated, gone all the way back to spawn to make sure that frag does not go unaddressed.
Diligent clear.
Oh, and unaddressed. Scenari first in.
30 seconds. Chance for the second. GXX feels good for this.
Yeah, every day of the week, you know, Twist is likely coming through that lobby entrance. And that's with the bomb, so yeah, Brokey's calling the site clear, but he has to get through.
Well, if he clears Squeaky, then maybe.
Yeah. Yeah. No. Twist though. 1, and we do see a second for BNE.
They made it costly, Faze, and the kills actually came to them. It was looking like a moment there where they should have been stalled out. So the individual crawls of both those members, at least netting them a kill or 2. So that is a nice amount of damage, right? If we're going to look in the positive side for Faze in a loss, they still have Bad News Eagles financially where they want them. This was a good little shot here from Flatro, and you can see the utility that was laden on the floor there. They're trying to go for, I like to call it the aim map smokes towards Yard, because you're looking for more linear jewels around towards Heaven. Smoke off main, smoke off towards the windows, and oh, here's Rain. This time...
Oh, whoa, Robs has already made it down the vent. Great catch from the Obs. A lot of presence from Faze early, and he's actually going to sweep through Secret to clear.
He won't find anything, that's the problem. Yeah, and they're rotated down. They're aware that this is a possibility here, but Robs can't find anybody, so he will have to crack open a door or a window unless they come to him. You can see scenario aware.
Right,
so they are aware that this is a possibility now, so good understanding of the situation for Bad News Eagles. And it is understandable if Faze want to try and brute force their way through ramp, because the vent rotation is covered, Secret is clear, Rain confirms that. If you can get through ramp, there's no way for the CTs to make their way down to stop this out.
Yeah, so you can see these 2 canaries established in the coal mine. And now it's a question of getting in to ramp.
This is a great read. They played 2 players ramp with 2 players lower.
It's a perfect read. Can they find the frags? Trying to tip the scales now is Twist. Partnered with Brokey, that's the bomb. They're thinking better of it, especially now Carrigan's gone down as well. They are stacked here. 3 in the ramp. It's Flatro for his 3rd. And Faze completely just sent packing.
Yeah, Robs felt like he was the highlight of this round, but again, they didn't give him what they were looking for. And I like that decision, right? The fact that they were able to fortify ramp with so many bodies, they gave up almost all the other territory on the map, other than that B bomb site where they played quite safe. That's a nice shot from Brokey, sure, but that should be it. Rigon from the heavens will remove him, and that's a great round 3 for Rigon now to get himself up to 6 kills. And look, they can get a 9-6 on the half, 6 being in the deficit of the Bad News Eagles, 9 in favor of Faze. But as long as they stay somewhat competitive here, if they keep the pressure on Faze, force them to doubt themselves, maybe give them an oopsie round or 2, then that's the pressure that can be applied going into our 3rd map.
But this one doesn't qualify as an oopsie?
No, I think the Bad News Eagles just played that very well, right? Because Nuke is a map that once you get this territory, you can play it by the, okay, we have this waypoint, we have this checkpoint, what are our reactions? What's the call as Rain on the silo? We'll deal with Flatro this time, who has, I wouldn't say he's been a menace towards Yard, but he's been consistently out there looking to stall this.
And that's another body taking its place. Interesting, and considered by Carrigan. If Synopsy does overcook it, be walking straight into that Kalashnikov crosshair of Carrigan.
I'd be surprised to see him push the mark here.
Right.
I know the idea for info, it seems like a big one, but because nobody else is being pressured across the map, you have to have a good idea that something may be coming his way.
He hears these pins pulled and holds the tight line. Our Faze not going to consider this. He's starting to catch the timing. He knows bodies are coming. No one's checking. This could be a big one out of Synopsy too. Unawares, Faze knocked and a little discombobulated by the aggression.
Well, that's enough to make them feel foolish. Rigon did a fantastic job of putting himself on the end of that fishing rod, right? You saw him spamming through the smoke with the AK. They're going to hear that. They're going to see that. And you're not going to expect Synopsy with that
especially
juicy
after the
double.
frag rain got onto Flatro.
Precisely. And that one there is going to keep them a little bit shaken. Dropping back, they will save 30 seconds on the clock to retain these two rifles, an AWP for Brokey, an AK for Twists.
Okay,
that's
Eagles.
2 nice rounds. We'll play with the rounds that we saw. Those are 2 nice rounds.
Yeah, you can say that with conviction.
Yeah, in terms of the game overall, we'll have to wait and see where this one goes. But if they do get the 9-6, let's start painting this picture early for everybody. Get out in broad strokes here.
Yeah,
they get the 9-6. Right at that point, we go into a 2-minute break. They win the pistol round, they win the follow-up. It's either going to be an eco, right, or they're going to be a force. If it's a force, they go into the third. That's going to be a full eco. It's 9-9. The dialogue shifts again. Remember how this game started? It was an absolute shafting that was going on. It was just getting destroyed. There was no way back. It didn't feel like there was a way back.
It looked impossible.
We're talking 9-1?
Yeah. It was an absolute runaway. 9-1 now, 3 consecutive. Synopsy, a hero of that previous round. And recovering from an opening death. I mean, lots to be singing the praises of for the Eagles now.
Dent's been made, right? The save gun, sure. Deagle for Rain, Galil for Rops. So still pretty threatening here. But Faze have looked very well put together in the way that their pieces look, right? You see a lot of these... Oh, Synopsy's found Carrigan here, and Scenario aware of this ramp play.
Been caught out before, though. They've got some crazy lineups and approaches. Trajectory. Oh, spray. Better. 2 out of Scenario's ramp hold. Faze got nothing.
They're handling this so well.
Cooked. And Robs, yeah, good luck. Have fun. Spam from behind. Flatro from the front. Still doesn't have a weapon. Maybe he doesn't need one. Yeah, he'll do it with the incendiary. A clean one for him. 5, 6 definitely attainable now. Faze looking a bit tight in the coffers.
You say obtainable. It should be more than likely, considering this is the final round, round number 15. This is where the opener came in. Yeah, no wonder we didn't expect that one. Carrigan was not expecting that. A push straight through the squeaky door. That incendiary flushing them forward as well, getting the rats out of the system. Just going to burn them down, and here... Oh, they're going to be stewing right now. Faze going into half-time. It might just have to be an A-pop.
Yeah, it's so quick. Look at this. 4 of them trundling. Straight in. Looking to stampede. Straight into the top site. Flatro was completely unprepared for that. Still low level. Synopsy, a problem on the site. Rigon supporting. Only a 2v3 with the bomb already at their feet. They should have this one. Rops at least onto GXX. Just need to live if you rain, if you can, if... Being the operative word, Rob's rocking the orb, not the weapon of choice. Typically, what a shot! Synopsy catches a heady from Rain, and now Scenario does not have the health in order to make that 6th round a reality.
If he can catch Rain off guard, then it's going to be against the AWP of Rob. So still a chance here for Scenario, but he isn't staying proactive. Oh, maybe I tell a lie. He is starting to get a move on.
Could be putting his back into Rob. Yeah, that will be the 10th. Faze, like by Faze with a 10-round haul on the T side of Nuke, Chad. It should be a formality. BNE would have to have some insane T side play in order to end it here and now. You can see the odds starting to blow out further. Faith in Faze from the bookies.
Wow, this is quite quick from Flatcho, and he's made a shot or 2, so he is noted, but Rigon with the P250 from downtown.
Yeah, well, it starts with a pistol, Chad. As most good stories do. Rob's looking for Flatro, but he's already evaded them. And look at this. Oh, from behind. Not the weapon for the job. The Glock fires off warning shots, and up behind. A big one out of Robs. Up the ladder, takes balls.
Oh, that is ridiculous.
Robs versus Synopsy. Takes the duel, wins the duel. He actually got one from behind. GXX fell, so 2-on-2. Scenario squeaky bum time into the vents. Being run on down. Can't find the frag onto Rain, but the bomb now going down top side. Synopsy in the 1v2 clutch.
On hot pursuit.
They're quick. And past his line of sight. He's not ready for this. They double up, and find it. Close it. Faze will take the pistol. 5 rounds away from that Mirage.
4 from 4 out of pistols so far from Faze in this game. Now, if you didn't catch us in that first half, Faze, or that first map as it were, had a difficult time converting the second rounds. Right? That plan is actually going to help Synopsy and Co get into a force buy here for another second round jaunt. Now, in the first half, they righted that ship. They have rewritten the dialogue of how the second rounds have gone, but they need to find some consistency in that factor if they want this one to be over and out. Wow. Okay. And that one on the ladder was pretty ridiculous as well, coming out of Rops too. So just chasing them down. Very quick stuff. And yeah, there was a body language shift at halftime. You could see there was constant fist bumps, jokes going on between the FaZe Clan side of things, and as that sounds, it is a timeout and a chat to be had, because with this plant, you can see the cache on the right-hand side of your screen now. We can get out a couple of Galils, maybe some Tech 9s with Util behind it, or you can grab a Deagle now take a save round, and then into the next, get out the AKs. So this is why Bad News Eagles are taking this time to have this conversation to see what level of investment they're looking for. This makes or breaks their map of Nuke. Now, it only breaks it if it's a full investment and it doesn't pan out. And as we can see, they are starting to make those hefty investments. There was at least an AK and a MAC-10 as we do turn our attention back into play. And there you see everybody with a smattering. GXX, he's found himself a deagle on the floor right there. I think he actually purchased that quite late coming out, but regardless, does get it, and away we go. Squeaky blown off.
Door blown off.
They're going to go here. Usually the second wave, you wait for the CT util to subside and then you pop and go. But the AK is a little bit more telling of taking your time. At least allow Rigon to have a look. Oh, they've missed their smokes here, Alex.
Yeah, that's a yikes from me, dog. Rigon trying to do his best Twists impression. Rain, however, receives.
He's got the AK now as well.
Thank you very much. To ramp it will be just you throwing their bodies into the immovable object that is Rops. Tapping away. Still finding all of the frags they need. Nothing to be celebrated for the Eagles as they're plucked on Nuke.
And this is what I was talking about, right? Now we have to see just a light investment here. The guns will not be able to come out until round number 19. That's why they had that conversation to decide what they wanted to do as a unit. I think it was a good idea, the intention to draw all the focus towards A in case of a Tech 9 go, and that at least what they were posturing for. Miss smoke, I don't think that would have been the difference maker in the death of Rigon right there. Regardless, Twist seemed ready for it. And they'll have to stomach what should be another loss here. So down the vent, Sceneri will be spotted. He gets away. Carrigan, Jason.
Come here, Sceneri. Get out of here, says Carrigan, and so will the rest of the team. In fact, a very quick eviction notice given. Bad News Eagles, they've got about 3 rounds to pack their belongings and head over to Mirage.
This is going to be the first map. Wow.
Hold on.
This might be the first map that FaZe have won so far here at the Major. But Bad News Eagles had to come through the Challenger stage. They've already had to win more than a couple of maps. They've played in this environment. They know what it takes.
Yeah, I mean, you want to talk David versus Goliath. No better example than this head-to-head right now in the Major circuit.
Should we get Kassad out here?
Yeah.
He loves the David versus Goliath, does old Kassad.
Yeah. Can't go anywhere without his Bible.
Oh, here it is from Robs. Look how cheeky he's about to be. Flash forward.
Oh, it's so mean. What a flash. And oh, no one ready. A back turn. Synopsy punished. There is more. Hang on. Advantage Eagles. Tries as hard as he might, but found on Rain. It's Twists. Aware the Flatro might be lingering in the smoke. They pass each other. Twists, and so this is bad info. May not know. Rain still ramp side. No immediate punishment. But he has passed and managed to pierce the A's sight. He does have to break the vent. It's unbroken as it currently stands. Actually well aware of the potential, and down he goes. To the low site. Could be smoke and mirrors. If they both react to that, where's GXX going with that bomb?
He's dropped down as well here, so he's going to limp that smoke forward, plant towards back as sight.
Okay, perfect, perfect. Coming up clutch. No answers and no teammates. Flatro has to do it all. Loads of time for Faze to find him. Rain looking for another frag. He's already got 17 in the bag, but not today. Not up against Flatro. Looking to inject some life, some hope into the Eagle ranks. That's a beautiful clutch. And it's just the two of them. Flatro and Rigon, the likely candidates, both combined to secure a 6th.
Wow, right? Like that's the thing, that right there puts the playstyle of Bad News Eagles in a box, right? Like it's not just a biff, but the fact that he just puts himself to take those fights. He doesn't want them to establish site control. He's so confident in his aim to take those jewels. Right? He's able to pierce that veil in through that main smoke. It all comes down to that timing with Twist. I don't know, how many chances, if you run that round 10 times, how many times does he actually get past Twist in that environment? But one more of those and they can at least look at breaking the majority of funds for FaZe.
Another missed wall?
Yeah, look, this could be the difference between a forced or an unforced error. It's hard to tell with a lot of dotted smokes and Ollie's all over the map here.
Top hut Molly. Rob's reaction required. Twist, trigger happy, and there's Rigon in. Need another. Robs, a lot of problems as the Eagles have broken through with a scattered pie. He's got no bullets, still managing to tap the head. One left in the chamber. Brokey needs a hard one. Can't find it, won't find it. 7. Bad News Eagles. They had limited resources, but they still managed to kick open the door and flatten Faze now in economic disarray.
Yeah, those smoke walls towards Yard, they might come back to bite them in the arse here as this game continues, especially if they think they're throwing them correctly, right?
Yeah,
and then they go to use them later. We have a gaping void right here. So that's on a couple of occasions that this has gone wrong. But here's a perfect highlight for you. You see this smoke? That's a smoke thrown up on the rafters right there with a molly combo, and it's just obscured the complete vision of poor Rops. That meant they were able to get out the hut, shoot Twist in the back, who didn't even get a chance to take a fair fight. And speaking of Rops, he has this M4, looking for the duel. He spotted one over the top, but Synopsy, sharp as you like, ahead of the play. Will take out Mr. Cool, and they have a lot of space right now.
Oh, yeah, Faze may be losing their cool here. That was the hero rifle. And the rest falling into place to close this gap.
Are they coming looking for this rifle? That could be the case. It's somewhat well guarded. Now, Flatro with only 7 kills here. He was the hero. He's going to add a couple more from Vertigo. The plays that he had, remember that M4 and that pistol round? He had that fantastic first half with 18 kills. I don't remember how many he finished on at the end, but he found a lot of impact.
He surpassed 30. I think we were on 31, 32. And yeah, nice shot out of Twist. Does make it a little more costly, but I mean, that's a done deal. Laughing all the way to the bank of the Eagles. Faze no longer giggling. 3, though, does feel like something they can just walk home. But a vulnerability in your top site, you know, that's something that you're going to hope they can't replicate.
Yeah, I think around like that, you're going to go back to that very, very late if things aren't working. The problem is you only have 3 footfall opportunities. Hold up, Flatro. Okay.
Yeah, I respect
30 damage.
It. We lost Robs on the jaunt through the wall smokes.
I don't think they know he's passed. And the reason I don't think they know he's passed, they might have to consider the fact it's a possibility, but most players don't brave those flames without the extinguish. And you can see Rain's position with the crossfire of Brokey, that unknown entity. I don't think they've thought this is a possibility. It's actually more beneficial for Flatcher to return to top.
Yeah, there's still a lot of ups and downs, and down goes Carrigan. Rigon with the smoke spray. Flatro still the unknown entity.
The Vent's such a horrible position to find himself. He can't do anything from here. And because they don't know he's lower, they haven't even acknowledged it with a rotation. The best is the open door that, hey, if you guys can make it across secret, I've already cleared out all this territory. I've been in Vent, window side's all good. Decon is a question, but...
And he has to make noise if he wants to advance towards this ramp position. So it's a question of who blinks first. Rops, only an M4 to his name. No nades to delay. 35 seconds as they commit through. A lot riding on Rops. Needs a multi-kill. Does find the first. Rigon down. GXX to trade. Brokey away. Safe, but down to the lower site. Joining Flatro. Still Rain from Decon a problem. Flash to at least contest. Gap is closed. Fast from this from Faze. Scenario down. Caught out. Big spray from Twist, who bails Faze out of trouble. That really got sketchy.
Yeah, look, I was praising Bad News Eagles in the first half for how well they handled some of the situations. That's the complete opposite there. You have Flatro lower. His entire job should be to make sure that that vent rotation is not possible. You have to have trust in the remainder of your teammates to be able to break through ramp here. And because he didn't stick to his guns in that environment, I think it was Rain who was already down on the lower deck, who was the one over towards that decon door, which meant, hey, you don't have the space you thought you did. So that's an issue there for Bad News Eagles, and maybe a bit of a sinking feeling. The chance of the comeback has been, at least in my mind, somewhat stalled out. And so I think you get that freebie through the smoke. Hold up, Rob. Pushing through exactly one. 23 kills now. Gets an upgrade into an AK. Twister's found another here.
Mad.
Chaos.
They are mad. And this is two. Rob steps further forward. Will catch that bomb carrier. Puts Synopsy down. And indeed, Eagles out 15. A clean one for Faze to launch themselves into that third map decider in this elimination game.
Too many angles here. He's not going to be ready for all of this. Carrigan on the roof, smoked off again. Acknowledged the possibility there with a quizzical glance, but over the top rope. Carrigan will finish him off, and all five staying alive. Just one more round now. And holding on, giving themselves an opportunity. You couldn't get in a worse position, right? There's only one way this gets worse, and that's if FaZe lose. Quite literally, you lose the 2 opening games. It doesn't matter if they were close. It doesn't matter if they were blowouts. In that column, it still reads 0-2. And then you find yourself down a map. You let Vertigo through. It is your permaban. You've got to be in squalor mentally after something like that. And now being able to return with a bit of a stomping here, likely to be a 16-8 scoreline as it's just some pebbles and pistols.
Yeah, but FaZe taking a day and a half to find your first map win. Ring rust or something more sinister.
I think they'll just give us a parade around the map here for these next minute and 30 seconds. Not a whole lot that BNE can offer up here. That opening exchange, or both of which going against them. Carrigan monitoring yard. He's going to have some support if he calls for it. And they're going to be hungry to finish off these final few kills.
Jumping on the Tech 9. Nice from GXX. And that's the end of him. As is the end of this map. FaZe to post their first map win at the Major. It's secure.